Good afternoon and welcome to RMU Live. Today is Monday, February 15th, 2021. I'm Austin Bechtold.
And I'm Colby Sherwin. Here's what's happening now.
Another snowy February day kicks off the week once again today.
Let's send it over to John Blinn in the Elements to give us an update. John?
Thank you, guys. And as you can see around me, we did see a little bit more snow here around Morris University, ranging from the 3 to 6 inches mark in the Pittsburgh area, and the temperatures are starting to match it. You can see a high today of 28 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of just 25 degrees, only dropping down a little bit. However, we may see some more snow today with that chance of precipitation resting at 90%, so we may see some more snow as the day continues. Moving on to our hourly now, as I mentioned, you really don't see a lot of temperature fluctuation there, only 28 degrees and 29 degrees by the end of the day there, so actually even warming up, and as you can see, that snow may just continue. However, that may come to an end tomorrow, but the temperatures are just going to get worse. That 29-degree high is what you're going to see tomorrow, but as you can see there as well, you could drop to as low as 6 degrees. So that's really going to be chilly tomorrow. You're definitely going to want to warm up. However, the snow looks like it's going to come to an end there with that chance of precipitation only at 20%. We're going to keep you updated as it seems that we really don't know what to expect all that much today. The snow could continue, and if it does, we'll be the first ones to tell you. We're going to toss it back to the desk with Colby and Austin.
Thank you, John. Should be a cold one. Now that the winter is in full force, PennDOT has given out some road restrictions. Starting at noon, vehicle restrictions were put in place for vehicles in Tier 1 like tractors without trailers, tractors with empty trailers, RVs, and motorcycles. This affects all of Interstate 76, 276, and Interstate 476 in both directions.
Over the past 48 hours, the Allegheny County Health Department is reporting 394 new cases of COVID-19, with 275 being listed as confirmed cases and 119 probable cases. 173 cases were announced in individuals in the 25 to 49-year-old age range, the highest of any other age group by a major amount. There were no new deaths reported as well. Since March 14th, there have been 73,399 cases of COVID-19 and 1,583 deaths.
With the shortage of COVID vaccines, many are wondering where they can get it. Here's where you can get them: Giant Eagle Pharmacies, Rite Aid, Beaver Health Mart, CVS, and Walgreens. Pennsylvania is still in Tier 1 phase. This includes anyone over 64 or anyone with underlying conditions.
As of 9:45 Monday morning, Robert Morris University is reporting 7 students and 3 employees are currently in isolation due to COVID-19, and 25 students along with 1 employee are in quarantine. Those in isolation have tested positive for the coronavirus, while those in quarantine have either shown symptoms and are awaiting test results or have been exposed to someone with the virus. Since August 21st of 2020, RMU has reported 336 positive cases of COVID-19.
Robert Morris University and 4 local community colleges are introducing the new RMU Gateway program. The new agreement will allow students to work at both RMU and one of the 4 community colleges included in the deal.
Today we announced a groundbreaking new initiative called RMU Gateway that represents the next chapter in our history of offering multiple pathways for students to earn a college degree and launch a great career. Now, joining us in this initiative are our 4 institutions, our friends that share
The schools that will be joining RMU are Allegheny, Beaver, Butler, and Westmoreland County Community College.
to providing the people of Western Pennsylvania an affordable and accessible college degree that will provide them with great careers and ensure the economic vitality of the entire region.
The program will allow students to get their associate's degree and then transfer to RMU. Tuition from the community colleges will continue at Robert Morris.
Will allow a community college student to be admitted directly to Robert Morris and to take up to 12 credits at RMU at the same time that they earn an associate's degree from their community college. Tuition for those credits will be equal to what students pay at the community college, resulting in a significant cost savings.
The program is set to begin at the start of the fall 2021 semester. Anyone looking for more information can visit rmu.com/admission/gateway.
Robert Morris Professor of Computer and Information System Peter Draus has been honored to receive an award at the Three Rivers Technology Conference in January. Danielle Wickland, a former student of Draus, nominated him for the Innovation in Education Award for his dedication during the pandemic. Wickland cited Drouse's dedication to online learning and making the transition relevant and enjoyable despite dealing with tough circumstances.
The Center for Global Engagement is hosting a new Virtual World Series, an opportunity to complete the entire Global Set category by participating in the events virtually in the spring 2021 semester. RSVP for the next event, the Rooney Program Reunion Panel, where the 3 former Rooney scholars and RMU professors Anthony Moretti discussed the political impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Reservations from Germany, Russia, Scotland, and the U.S. The event takes place February 17th at noon.
Associate Professor of History Soren Fanning is hosting the first RMU Honors Roundtable of the semester on Tuesday, February 16th. The roundtable will be held virtually from 3 to 4 p.m., and you can join the call in a Google Meet link found on Revolution. RMU will welcome a former Steeler to campus to help get you in shape. The Massey Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation welcomes Marcellus Branch and CEO Kenny Davis, co-founders of the No Days Off Society. The 2 RMU SBUS alumni will host the event dubbed a Massey Masterclass, representing their fitness and lifestyle company on Wednesday, February 24th at 6 p.m. The link to access the Google Meet can also be found on Revolution. It was an eventful weekend at the UPMC Events Center this weekend surrounding men's basketball.
Nathan Breisinger's in our Sports Center to give us an update on the state of the Colonial program. Nate?
Well, like you said, Austin, it was an interesting weekend at the UPMC Events Center, but for the overall atmosphere of RMU athletics, it was primed for a quiet weekend with the men's and women's hockey games canceled and postponed. But fans were left with a surprise on Friday that sent shockwaves throughout college basketball and the RMU community. Men's basketball star forward A.J. Brahma announced that he entered the transfer portal just hours before tip-off for the final home series of the year for the Colonials. Colonial Sports Network reached out to Brahma, and he confirmed with the organization that he would be leaving the program. The senior forward has been one of the only bright spots on a lowly RMU team, leading the Colonials with 21 points per game along with 10 rebounds per contest. Brahma has been a crucial part of the men's basketball team over the past 2 years since transferring to Toll's team. He is most known for his monstrous putback slam that basically sealed the deal in the 2020 NEC Championship game against St. Francis. Brahma has already received major interest from programs including Washington, UConn, and Arizona. While that news transpired, the men's basketball team still had a series to play. On Friday, for the 3rd straight game, the Colonials needed extra time to solve this game with Oakland. In the second overtime, it was Khalil Spear that helped push RMU ahead to an 88-82 victory with a putback slam. The following day, though, Robert Morris looked to sustain the same magic, but eventually fell in this one, 86-81 in regulation. With the absence of Brahma, senior John Williams scored 22 points to lead RMU in Game 2. Also in action on the weekend, the men's lacrosse team took on High Point in North Carolina, but dropped their second contest of the season with a final score of 21-15. Ryan Smith and Jimmy Perkins paced the Colonials with 4 goals each in the losing effort. Also on the road this weekend, the indoor track and field team competed in the Mastodon Invitational. The Colonials placed 3rd out of 8 teams. Estelle Katende won the shot put, while Katura Hunter won the individual title in the weight throw. Now, looking ahead, the women's volleyball team will be back in action tonight when they travel to Indianapolis to face Purdue Fort Wayne. That's all the sports I have for now. Back over to the desk.
Thank you, Nate. Make sure to check in with Colonial Sports Network for more updates. 3 people have died in a 2-vehicle crash on Route 30 Sunday night in North Huntington Township. The crash near Carpenter Lane resulted in 2 people being taken to the hospital. The wreck took emergency crews 4 hours to clean up the scene, with the cause of the accident still not yet known. Pittsburgh police have announced that a man was stabbed in the neck over the weekend in Brighton Heights. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition after being attacked in the 3800 block of California around 3:15 p.m. Sunday afternoon. Police have also received reports of a suspect fleeing the scene of the crime in a vehicle and will continue to investigate the crime.
Police in Blair County are asking for anyone's help in the location of a missing endangered woman. Police say 27-year-old Christina Schultz is listed as missing and endangered. Police say also Schultz may be accompanied by 33-year-old Patrick Leeper. According to police, Leeper is wanted by the Pennsylvania State Police on felony strangulation charges and wanted by Tyrone Police on felony fleeing and including charges. Anyone with information about Schultz's whereabouts is asked to contact Blair County 911 dispatchers or the local township police department. The Senate has reached a conclusion on the second impeachment trial.
And PPG Paints is hoping to reopen. Stay tuned here on RMU Live.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Wacha. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it good?
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Live. The United States Senate voted to acquit Donald Trump in his second impeachment trial. Although members of both parties voted guilty, it was the most bipartisan vote for conviction in history. Republicans band together to oppose the impeachment charge. Nadia Romero is in Washington with more.
A historic day on Capitol Hill.
Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, guilty. Mrs. Blackburn. Mrs. Blackburn, not guilty.
President Trump is acquitted for a second time.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day. We have no power to convict and disqualify a former office holder who is now a private citizen.
House impeachment managers say there was no doubt then President Donald Trump incited the mob that attacked the U.S. Capitol on January 6th.
Trump stormed our house with the mob he incited, and we defended our house.
Trump's defense team says the former president is not responsible for the rioters' actions.
The United States Senate decided, as they did, to protect our constitutional way of life and not go down the road of endless impeachments.
In Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
Thank you, Nadia. It has been a little over a month since the insurrection on January 6th, which is what caused the vote to happen.
After being originally delayed, the implosion of the Dukers Hollow Bridge in North Braddock and East Pittsburgh was completed Saturday afternoon. A perimeter of 1,000 feet was set for no one to cross prior to and during the explosion to make sure everyone was safe, using 96 explosives to bring down the bridge as well. A new bridge to replace the old one will be built by the end of 2021. Pittsburgh residents might want to be careful and discreet when answering their phones for the next few weeks. Pittsburgh police are warning local residents of a scam from people claiming to be a part of the Bureau of Police. The phone calls ask for personal information, including social security numbers, which is information that police say they will never call to discuss over the phone. Police want you to be aware to not disclose any of this information to these scammers.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, churches are going to have to change how Ash Wednesday is done. This year, the churches will distribute small cloth patches and ash crosses on them. Actual ashes will be available after the 9 a.m. and throughout the rest of the day. All this is done to remain COVID safe. The Allegheny County Health Department ordered the Boston Market in Shadyside to be closed after it was deemed immediate health hazard. An inspector found standing water at the front clock line. Employees were walking on cardboard to pass through areas, and the restaurant was cited for citations and pest issues.
There's a new timeline on when most Americans can expect to be eligible for a coronavirus vaccination, set by a top U.S. health official. Mandy Gaither has more in today's Health Minute.
As more coronavirus vaccinations roll out and into the arms of eligible Americans, Dr. Anthony Fauci is putting together a timeline on when the rest of the U.S. could potentially get the shot.
If you look at the projection, I would imagine by the time we get to April, that will be what I would call, for better wording, open season. Namely, virtually everybody and anybody in any category could start to get vaccinated.
Dr. Fauci says he's fairly certain that toward the end of April, places like pharmacies, community vaccine centers, and mobile units will help pick up the pace. And not just for those in higher priority groups, but he cautions that from there, it'll take several more months to actually get everyone vaccinated.
Hopefully, as we get into the middle and end of the summer, we could have accomplished the goal of what we're talking about, namely the overwhelming majority of people in this country having gotten vaccinated.
As more cases of the highly contagious virus variants are confirmed in the U.S., officials say genetic sequencing needs to be stepped up. That will help the U.S. to see how quickly the mutations are spreading. Health officials say the current vaccines may be slightly less effective against the variants, but do work against them. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
So now we're going to scan that so that...
Thank you, Mandy. The Penguins have asked Governor Wolf to allow fans in PPG Paints Arena. The Penguins have asked to allow 25% capacity. The arena's website says seating capacity of the venue is 18,000 for hockey games. At 25%, that would mean almost 4,000 fans. Right now, the COVID-19 restrictions allow no events over 500 people to be allowed.
A man who assaulted a Pittsburgh police officer early Sunday morning has been arrested. Police say the man asked to file a police report, but then started punching the window of an officer's parked vehicle. The officer was inside the vehicle at 600 Liberty Avenue around 12:30 a.m. Another officer arrived on the scene and deployed a taser to contain the man after he hit the other officer in the chest when he exited the car. The man was taken to the Allegheny County Jail, where the officer's keys were found inside of his pockets.
A judge says a woman told that she had violated her bail conditions and would be sent to jail pulled out a hidden knife and stabbed herself last week. In Eastern Pennsylvania courtroom, Judge Robert Hawk said that 59-year-old woman was taken to the Lehigh Valley Hospital. Her attorney waived her right to the preliminary hearing, but the judge increased her bail after paternal services alleged she had violated her bail conditions. He said that she left the bench to complete her paperwork when she pulled out the weapon and stabbed herself twice below the ribcage.
The Pitt Gymnastics team will debut their Black Lives Matter uniforms on Sunday against Temple. The team coaches and staff will also be wearing Black Lives Matter t-shirts as a part of the athletic department's Unite Until We Unite initiative to promote through education, dialogue, and the celebration of differences, according to information on the team's website as a part of Black History Month. Permane brothers are joining Yinzers in addition to try to get the Watt brothers to the Steeler roster. Now, J.J. Watt, the older brother of Steelers 2020 MVP and fullback Derek Watt, who signed with the Steelers last season, was recently granted his release by the Houston Texans. Permane has joined the recruitment of the three-time Defensive Player of the Year by offering to rename themselves Watt Bros. The Steelers have reportedly been one of many teams in contact with JJ, despite dealing with a difficult cap number heading into the 2021 season, as TJ has already tweeted his support of his older brother joining him on the pass rush.
Speaking of the Watt brothers, after the break, I will be back here in the studio to give you an update on the Steelers along with the Pittsburgh Penguins and the results from last night's Daytona 500. Stay tuned here on RMU Live.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Stand is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Welcome back to RMU Live. The Pittsburgh Penguins have been in the news quite a bit in the past week with their solution to general manager Jim Rutherford's resignation. As a result, Ron Hextall was named as the new general manager for the Penguins, after fulfilling the same role for Philadelphia from 2014 to 2018. After spending 11 years as a goaltender with the Flyers, as a GM, Hextall was known for his strong drafting, selecting players like Carter Hart and Shane Gostisbehere. Joining Hextall in a surprise hiring, Brian Burke will serve as president of hockey operations. Burke comes into Pittsburgh after being around the league for decades, serving as a GM for 4 different organizations, including the Anaheim Ducks, where he built a Stanley Cup champion in 2007. Hextall and Burke will look to keep the Penguins as playoff contenders for the time being as the Crosby and Malkin era is closing. While the management issues have been solved, the Penguins needed to find a solution for their play on the ice. Last Thursday, the Pens took down the New York Islanders in a shootout with Sidney Crosby, providing the dagger in a 4-3 victory. Last night, the Pens returned home to take on Washington, where they handled the Capitals with a 6-3 win. Their victory marked their first win by more than a single goal all season long. With their sluggish start this season, the Pens still have quietly gone 5-0 on home ice. While the snow and ice have been bothersome in Pittsburgh and the Pittsburgh region, things are warming up regarding the rumors about J.J. Watt potentially joining his brothers in a Steelers uniform. Watt and the Houston Texans mutually parted ways on Friday. Now that leads to a major decision for the third of the Watt trio. While the Steelers look to reel in the last piece of the Watt brothers, Green Bay is also in the mix to land the 5-time Pro Bowler. The Steelers would need to work out some financial issues to open up an avenue for J.J. Watt, but it would be a tremendous story to see the 3 brothers relive their childhood dreams of backyard football. Now on to some national news. Last night, the Daytona 500 took place with Denny Hamlin favored to win the race. But in a turn of events, at the time, current leader Joey Logano collided with Brad Keselowski on the final lap, opening up a lane for eventual winner Michael McDowell. McDowell pulled off the upset to win his first ever Daytona 500 after avoiding the fiery crash in the backstretch of the race. Well, if the Daytona 500 does not sum up the world of sports and surprises over the past week, then I don't know what does. Back over to the desk.
Thank you, Nate. For more information on the latest news and arts and entertainment, make sure to go to RMU Central Media, and for the latest sports, Colonial Sports Network. Now, Silence of the Lambs fans could soon jolt themselves into the former movie set where FBI agent Clarice Starling caught Buffalo Bill. The Fayette County house at 8 Circle Street in Perryopolis was recently sold, and the movie was released 30 years ago on Sunday. Now, the new owner not only wants to offer tours, but transform the house to make it look even more similar to the movie and into a bed and breakfast. Art director and New York City native Chris Rowan, who recently bought the house, said, quote, "I'm not going to dig into the earth, but I want to install something along the lines of the film and give fans a pretty unique photo opportunity, end quote. Pittsburgh artist Q Perry wants you to enjoy feeling cold this time of year. Perry is teaming up with Millie's Homemade Ice Cream as a part of Black History Month to create a, quote, blackout brownie gelato. The ice cream is dairy-free, vegan, and gluten-free, and made by the Black-owned bakery called Wild Rise Bakery in Wilkinsburg. The product can be purchased at local Giant Eagle market districts, with proceeds benefiting a group of artists and activists as a part of One Hood Media.
Rapper Nicki Minaj's father was killed in a hit-and-run incident this weekend in New York. Attorneys in Long Island say Robert Minaj was struck Friday evening by a vehicle as he walked in the roadway. The 64-year-old was taken to a local hospital in critical condition, and he succumbed to his injuries on Saturday. There was no description of the vehicle involved with the accident. An investigation is underway. As of Sunday night, there's been no comment from the entertainer.
Coming up after the break, John Blinn will give us another update on tonight's and today's snowy conditions.
And to
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Welcome back to RMU Live. It's looking like we can expect more snow this week and even possibly some more today.
Let's send it over now to John Blinn to tell us what we can expect from the winter weather. John?
Thanks again, Colby and Austin. And as we mentioned earlier, just to touch upon what we're going to be seeing for the rest of the week, tomorrow is going to get chilly. We have a high of 29 degrees, but that low is dropping all the way to a chilling 6 degrees Fahrenheit. That is going to be brutally cold, so not what we're seeing today, and it already feels cold out today. We're going to move on again to the full week's weather just to give you an update as to whether or not these cold temperatures and the snow will continue. And as you can see, periodically throughout the week, you can expect more snow on Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. However, the sun will be peeking out on Wednesday and Saturday to hopefully melt a little bit of that mess. That's all we have for weather this week. We will keep you updated. As far as we know, there is no more snow at the moment, but we will keep you updated if we see more.
Thank you, John. Looking for more RMU-TV related content? Be sure to turn in today at 6 for the latest on entertainment with Colby, RMU Extra.
To catch up on the latest sports, tune in to Colonial Sports Center Thursdays at 9:30.
And for a Colonial take on comedy, tune in to RMU Tonight, Wednesdays at 5:30.
Well, Austin, it is the end of the show. Do you have any plans today?
Well, I'm going to try to avoid the cold and really chilly weather that we have right now and, hope it doesn't snow that much. What about you?
Yeah, John was saying it's going to be a cold day. I'm hoping to avoid the cold, get some homework done, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. See how it happens.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon on RMU Live.
Stay tuned, and we will see you next week. For Austin Bechtold, Colby Sherwin, and John Blinn, thanks for watching.